This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sister.
Very good morning. Okay,
Good morning.
very good morning. Fine. So I'll just give a quick recap here and we'll move ahead with constraints. So let's see. Yesterday we were trying to create a table only with the data types, right? Like we understood what are all the data types we have and we tried to create a table along with few columns. So can we create a table without a columns? No, right? So we can't create a table without a column because earlier we saw that in an Excel we saw this one, right? So you guys told me that this is not a table, whereas this is a table. Why? Here you don't have any columns, whereas here you have columns. Okay, so you can't create a table without a column, whereas you can create a table with columns. Okay, similarly, in the SQL Server, also the same. Similarly, in any database, also same. Okay, now while taking a columns, it's mandatory to take data types. So, mandatory means what? Compulsory. It's compulsory to take data types. Now do we have any standard data type to follow for each column? Yes, we do have. Here actually we created a table with different columns with different data types, right? Let's say for name we have taken varchar, id int, salary int, hire date, gender char, right? So can I normalize taking data types? Yes. So for each and every column, you can take varchar as a data type. It will support. In the real time, we generally actually we are not aware of data that was coming into our servers. Okay, client will be having some data. For that, we need to create a table. Okay, if we assume and take and um, data types, if we assume and we take a data type for that any column, sometimes we may go wrong. Okay, if id we thought and we take int, who knows, it is an alphanumerical id. Maybe it will be considered of A010, something like that, if the id is like that, right? So in order to achieve all those scenarios, we are neutralizing the things, I mean neutralizing the data types and taking varchar for every column. Date is fine. Obviously, if it is a date, make sure you are taking a date data type. Okay, you can take that. But if you don't, I mean, if you are assuming id will be of int, it's okay if you take varchar of some max. For salary also, varchar you can take. For gender, varchar. Okay, later if you want, you can change it. It's a different story. Okay, now so far we have taken some memory with this varchar data type, right? So what is the maximum limit you can take for varchar? So right now into this name column, only 20 characters of name can be fitted. Only 20 characters of name. If you are trying to give more than that, it will throw an error. That also I will show you. No need to bother. Okay, I'll show you while talking about DML. Okay, right now we are in DDL, right? Yes. So today I will try to create a table along with the constraints. Okay, see, for that I'll be using data types. Along with the data types, I'm just using constraint, which is a non-mandatory things or else optional. Okay, let us try to understand the constraint and let us try to take varchar for each and every column. Okay, see, like this also you can take constraint for this table also you can take constraint, but I'm showing you in a different ways. So first and foremost, let us try to understand what are all the constraint we have. See, firstly, what is meant by constraint in general English, meaning?
Condition.
Correct. Okay, constraints are nothing but a conditions. So what kind of conditions? Simple. These are all the conditions that you can apply, on top of the table. See, these are the conditions. Okay, you are going to apply on the tables. Maybe it can be a column level or a table level. These constraints you will not, applied while querying the data. Okay, while querying, these will not help you. While creating a table, then only these constraints are applied. Okay, let's see how it works. So yes, as you told, constraints are nothing but conditions. Yes, it is true. So first I'll be concentrating on the table level. Okay, so primary key, let's talk about this primary key and foreign key later. So first I'll be talking about this not null. Okay, let's say I have a table. Okay, so this is my table. Okay, so this is a table. No, because we don't have columns here, right? Let me take some columns. Okay, so this is a table. Now here I have some name, named column, name column, and another one is id, and another one I have is somehow sal. I'm just taking an example, and another one is department number. Okay, now if I take not null on top of this one, or else department table. See, on top of this column, I have taken not null. So what happens here? So whatever the data you are inserting into this column should not be null. If if you are inserting null into this column, it will never allow you to take null values. Understand? So whatever the column you are taking, for that column if you take not null constraint, getting, so for that column null values are not accepted. Okay, the next one, default constraint. So if I take name, or else if I take id, so for id column I have taken default constraint. So whenever I left, whenever I left some space for this column, let's say I'm inserting some records. Okay, so here name is some lara. Okay, after that id, I'm not inserting any id here. I just left the space lara comma salary is somehow 100. See, I didn't take in space also here. Okay, just I have taken comma, and the department number is 10. Okay, now here I don't have any value for id. So by default, whatever the value you defined while creating a table, let's say if id is 101. Okay, so while creating a table, if you define a default value for this column, so whenever an empty record is coming at that time, this 101 is placed here. Okay, defaultly a value is given while creating a table. See, we will try to learn all these things practically. Before that, let us see an high view on it. Okay, next, check constraint. So this check constraint I'll be applying on salary column. Okay, so what it will do, so whenever salary is greater than 500, then only those records only I want to insert into this particular table. Getting? Where I'm just giving, while creating a table, I have taken a check constraint here in the salary column. Let's say, see, check off. Here you need to take salary greater than, let's say, 500. So this you have taken while creating a table. Now, when you try to insert a record whose salary is 400, then that record will be rejected. You will get an error called violation of check constraint. Okay, that also I will try to show you. Not trying, I'll definitely show you. And the next one is unique. So basically, this unique constraint we usually take for this ID column, because no duplicates are allowed if you take unique constraint. So whatever the values you are inserting, all the values should be unique. Values in the sense, you are taking constraint to that particular column, so into that particular column value should be unique. Getting? Yes, this is what unique constraint helps. Now, primary key is a combination of not null and unique. Understand? Not null and unique. Okay. And only one primary key we can have for a table. Remember these 2 points. I will explain you with an example. Okay. Primary key is what? It's a combination of not null and unique. At the same time, only one primary key we can have for a table. Now, whatever the table you have, I mean, whatever the table which you have primary key, that table is also known as parent table. Remember this point. What table? Parent table. Now, uh, we have this foreign key constraint, right? So just remember the points here. Okay, all I'll tell you. Now, foreign key, right? So foreign key, any number of foreign keys you can have for a table. N number of foreign keys. No limit was there. N number of foreign keys. And this foreign key is responsible for what? Reference between parent table and the child table. This foreign key is responsible for the relationship between the tables. Remember this point. What is meant by referential integrity? This is an basic interview question. What is meant by referential integrity in technical terms? Simple. Foreign key is responsible for the relationship between the table, then that is nothing but an referential integrity. Getting? And how many foreign keys we can have for a table? N number of foreign keys we can have for a table. And this foreign key table is nothing but a child table. If you have a primary key in a table, then that table is nothing but a parent table. If you have a foreign key in a table, then that particular table is nothing but what? Child table. And who is responsible for the relationship between the tables? Foreign key. Hence, it is also known as referential integrity. Getting? Now, let us try to do all these things practically. Okay, so I'll try to create one table here. So constraints I'm just taking constraints. So let me create a table. Create create table. My table name is sample underscore con underscore eg underscore 1. I'm just taking something like this. So I have taken a name column which is of varchar of max I am taking here. See, I told you, right, what is the maximum value you can take for a varchar? It's a max. So simply you can give max, this keyword. Max means maximum limit it is going to take. Varchar of max. And id, if you want, for id also you can take varchar. Varchar of this is also max. And a salary which is of int, and hire date which is of date. And what else we left? Department number which is of int. So only for two columns I have taken varchar, and if you want for salary and the department number also you can take varchar. Okay, but as of now I know, right? So that's why I'm not going for it. Okay, so if I execute this one, this is the basic, uh, you know I'm just executing, right? I mean, a basic table creation. I'm not using any constraint. Now, what I want to do is, I don't want any nulls into the name column. I don't want any nulls. If I try to insert null into the table, it should not enter. So what I should do? If client gave you no null should be insert into this particular column, then what you have to do, you have to take not null constraint. Done. See, give some space and take constraint. So column followed by data type followed by constraint. No comma is required, no semicolon, no extra symbol is required, just space. Column data type constraint. So this constraint is optional, whereas data type is mandatory while creating a table. Okay, now for id column, um I want id should be unique. I don't want any duplicates into id column. Then what constraint I need to take? Unique constraint. So simply I'm just taking unique. Next is salary. I need to have a check constraint. Check of sal greater than 500. So this constraint is applicable for this salary. See, whatever this column I am just taking here, that column only you need to mention here as well. Okay. So after that, hire date. So for hire date, I mean, I don't want to give anything here for hire date. Okay. So let me take hire date here also. Default value we will be taking. Default of, I'm just taking this one. Default I'll be taking, okay, you don't know this function. Okay, let me take this one. 9 9 9 9 9 9. Okay, so uniquely I'm just applying. Okay, default of this value I'm just taking. So here I don't take, I mean, I didn't take in anything. Let me create this table. I'll tell you why this error. Actually, I want to change this one to batch 11. That is where I executed just like that. um is a type is invalid for use as key column in an index. Wait, let me create this one. Column ID in a table sample con example 1 is a type that is invalid key column okay, let us try to take int here. Anyhow it works, no? Okay, maybe because of varchar unique is not supported or what. Mm, okay, we will see. No worries. We'll try to take another example. But anyhow, a table is created with some constraint. So let me refresh this one. Right click on our database. So DB batch 11 is our database, right? So right click on it, hit refresh button. Okay, now expand the tables. So this is the one you have created, right? Now let us expand this table, expand the columns. See here, see, for every column, it is null. Okay, for name column, it has taken not null. So by default, when you create a table, by default, column will take null values. I mean, null constraint. For each and every column, null constraint is taken automatically in the backend. Okay, so when you explicitly mention instead of null, you need to take not null, then it will show like this. Now expand the keys. Do we have any keys here? Unique key. So we have taken unique, right, for ID column. So the moment you take unique while creating a table, automatically a name for unique um, constraint has taken automatically in the backend. So this is the one. Now expand the constraint. So check constraint we have and default constraint. Two constraints we have here. Okay, so you not null is showing, unique is showing, check and default. Everything is showing here. Okay, now I'll try to create one more table. Create table sample underscore con underscore eg underscore 2 name varchar of max comma id varchar of max. It executed? No. See, for this also I have taken max. This also I have taken max. Then why previously it didn't execute it? Okay, so we will see. But yeah, I'm telling you, right? You can take a varchar of max or varchar of any memory. You can take for every column. This is how we actually do in the real time. Varchar only we are trying to take. Okay, so okay, this is not our case now. I have created a table with this few constraint, right? Now, uh, can we insert the record into this table just in order to understand the behavior of constraint? Yes. Later we will talk about drop, alter, and truncate. Let us try to understand insert command. Insert command. So insert command is a DML command. Okay, it's a DML command, which means a transaction. Okay, now why I am taking insert command means I will try to prove this particular table. I mean, I'll try to prove all these constraints now. That is where I'm just introducing this insert command. So generally syntax for insert command is insert into table name you have to take. After that you need to give values Okay, so followed by values, some v1, v1, v2, v3, and so on, something like this. Okay, so this is one way of inserting, and another way of inserting is, okay, so second way of inserting the values is just copy this one. So here you are mentioning the values, right? So table name of columns also you can mention here, C1, C2, and so on, something like this. Okay, so these are the two ways of inserting the values. Let us try to insert that into the table. Insert into, to which table I am just inserting? Into the table which has constraint. Okay, or else first let us insert into a simple table. Control C, Control V. I mean, I just copied and pasted here. So insert into this table. So values. So what are the values I have? Name and ID. So how many columns I have in the table, that many values I need to provide. If I'm not providing that many values, I'll be ending up with an error. Getting? Now, name, right? So I'm just taking Lara and the ID is 10. Now execute this one. See, it's a DML command. Message got changed, right? So one row affected. So one row affected means one row got inserted. To see what are all the rows got affected, we have select query. Select star from table name. So this is my table, right? So that is where I'm just taking my table name. So execute this one. See, a table got displayed, Lara and 10. So today what I just introduced, constraints. I have created a table with constraint, and to check that constraints, to understand that constraints, we are able to, we are trying to understand insert command. So to check whether the data was present in a table or not, we are going for a select query, which is DQL language. So from the DML I have taken one command, from the DQL I have taken one command. Okay, remember this point. These two insert and select statements are not DDL commands. Okay, so insert is a DML command and select is a DQL command. Okay, I'm giving you clarity, don't confuse. Now, one row got affected, now the same I'm trying to insert multiple times. Okay, now see this one. See, repetition occurred, duplicates occurred. Understand? Redundancy occurred. In technical terms, duplicates is nothing but what? Redundancy. Okay, now now I will try to insert records into this particular table. Okay, into this particular table. What is this table? A table which has constraint. So into that table, I'm just inserting. Just copy it and paste it here. Okay, and values are nothing but. So if I execute this one, what happens? Let's see. See, column name or number of supplied values does not match the table definition. So what is meant by table definition? This is the one. How many columns we have here? Almost 5 columns. But how many values I'm just passing here? Only 2, right? So that is where I'm getting this error. So that is what I'm just telling you. How many how many columns you have for this table, that many values you need to provide. Okay, now let me consider it one more time and give the values. Okay, so here name was taken, ID was taken. Now salary. Salary I'm just taking 600, and the hire date I'm just taking um 12 to 2024. Okay, and after that what I need to take? Higher date after we have one more thing, no, department number. So department 20 I'm just taking. Okay, now execute this one. So one row affected. Now try to query the table. So query means you are just seeing the table. For that what you have to take? Select star from. See, forget about what is the select statement, what is star, what is from. Okay, once we enter into DQL, I will tell you in a clear manner. Okay, so star is responsible to get all the columns in a table. See, the moment I mouse over on a star, it is showing me something here, pop-up thing. Name, ID, sal, hire date, and department. So star is responsible to get all the columns in a table along with all the records. Now execute this one. See, one row was there. Now again I will try to execute the same thing. I didn't change anything. I'll try to execute the same thing. See, first what is the error? Violation of unique key constraint. Cannot insert duplicate key into the object. This one, the duplicate key value is 10. Actually I have unique value in on top of ID, right? Now again I am trying to insert value 10 only, right? So that is where I am violating a unique key. So let me change it to 11. Getting, this is the violation of unique key. Now I have changed the 10 to 11. Now it is a unique record. See, it got entered. Actually this is a unique key got resolved, and moreover 600 is greater than 500 only, right? Now this time I will change it to 400, and this I will change it to 12. Now again I'm trying to insert this. See, the insert statement conflicted with the check constraint. This time no unique violation. What is the violation here? Check constraint. So what is the check constraint? We have actually taken, while inserting the data, it should be greater than 500. But I am just inserting 400 to the table where there is a possibility of error. Okay, so now I'll be changing it to, even if it is 500, then also it won't possible. Because 500 is not greater than 500, no? So I'm just taking 700. Now, here I don't know the name, so that is where I'm passing null. Okay, let me execute this. See, cannot insert the value null column in the name unless we come across the unique key constraint error, check constraint error. Now this time we are getting this null because we mentioned into the name column name should not be null. But what we are doing? We are inserting the null, right? So this is not possible. See, column does not allow nulls. Okay, let it take to Raj. Okay, fine. Now in the place of this one, I won't pass any value. Okay, now I will not pass any value. Now execute this one. See, number of supplied values error you are getting, right? So how can you achieve this one? by giving the column names here. So first you need to take name, after that ID, and after that salary you have taken, and after that department number. Okay, now what are the columns you have taken, that values you will be getting. Here I'll be taking Alan. Okay, for Alan, we are not passing any higher date here. Here also we didn't take in anything. Let us execute this one here. See, one row affected. Now try to query this one. See here, I didn't taken any value for Alan. I mean any higher date for Alan. What it was showing, how it was taking, whatever
Default
what
value.
exactly. So when you pass nulls, it will never allow to take default values. If you pass null, null is taken. Null is also a value in SQL. Null is a special, null having a special SQL. So don't take null. So to leave this column defaultly, I just mention the columns while taking table name. Along with that, I have passed the values here. See, every constraint is satisfied. So this is how the constraint works. Okay. Now we will try to understand the primary key and foreign key. Let's try to create a primary key table, foreign key table. So can we create a foreign key table without a primary key table? No. Without a primary key table, you can't create a foreign key table. Hey, what happened? Did I lost the connection? Hello. Are you able to hear me properly?
Yeah,
Okay,
where it
fine.
gets some glitch.
Okay. Thank you. Um, where are we? Okay. So let us try to create a table with primary key and foreign key. Okay. So for that, create table. So my table name is sample underscore. Um, I'm just checking PK means primary key. EG underscore one. Okay, so I told you, right, you can't create a table with foreign key. So why, I'll tell you now. So here I am just taking name, which is of varchar of 20, ID which is of int, and then DEPT, department number which is of int. Okay, now for this department, sorry, yeah, for this department number, I'm just taking a primary key. Okay, always remember, uh, primary key column should be a unique and not null. Getting, otherwise actually it should be unique and not null, right? I'll not take for department number primary key. For ID I'll be taking this one. ID will be unique, right? Now execute this one. Before that, let me take primary key for this also. Okay, execute this. See, cannot add multiple primary key constraints to a table. See, you have this one already. You have a primary key here. Again, you are trying to take primary key, right? So only one primary key is supported for a single table. So if you are taking multiple primary keys, then this is the error you are going to get. So let me take this error. Okay. Now I'll try to take the same table by removing a double primary key. Remove this one. Now execute it. See, command completed successfully. It's a DDL command that we created a table along with the primary key. Now just refresh this one. Okay, expand the tables. So this is the one you have created, right? Expand that. Columns. See, for ID column, I have taken a primary key, right? So automatically it is showing a key symbol which is facing outwards. Automatically it has taken not null also. See, it's a primary key. That is where it is showing in a key column. So if you are trying to insert data into this particular table, especially into this ID column, the ID should be unique and it should be not null. Okay, so two operations the primary key is supporting. Moreover, this is a parent table. Okay, now I'll try to create one more table with the foreign key. Here I'm just taking FK. This is a child table, and here I want to take a foreign key. See, one more thing you need to remember: to take primary key and foreign key reference, or else to take, to take primary key, nothing is required. But to have a foreign key, a common column should be there. Okay, to take a foreign key, a parent table need to be there. So when we can say it is a parent table for this one? This is, see, whenever you have a foreign key, it's a child table, but parent must be there for that child, right? So if you have a parent, at least one property will be matching, right? At least one property is matching. One common property you will be having. Property means don't go for lands and everything. No, I'm not talking about it. Okay, genes or something like that. In general. Similarly, if you talk about tables, at least one common column need to be there between parent and child table. For me, it's an ID, integer data type. So foreign key I'm just taking. If you execute this one successfully, you will get an error. Okay, so foreign key references, this keyword references is mandatory. So what? Primary key table, parent table of primary key column, which is nothing but ID. Now, this ID in the foreign key table references the ID in the parent table. That is the meaning of this particular value. Okay, now execute this one. See, it command completed successfully. Even if you miss yes here, it will not it will not execute properly. Yes is also important. You can give 10 stars here. Foreign key references, primary key table of column, parent table of primary key column. If you want to try taking other values, other columns. Okay, now, so this is a primary key and foreign key, right? Now, just because of foreign key and primary key, we are having some relationship between the tables. So can I show that relationship? Just in our database, you have database diagrams, right? Just expand these database diagrams. You don't have anything right now. Okay, so let us try to take new database diagram. So a new diagram window is opened for you. Now, let me take these two tables. Let us add tables. Okay, these are all tables. I'm just adding. Click on add enough. Okay, rows. Now, do we have any primary key or foreign key here? No, that is why no relationship. For this, no. And for this, no. If you see here, these two are relating to each other. Foreign key and primary key. Why? Because foreign key is responsible to have a relationship between the tables. Remember this point. Okay, fine. So this is how you're going to create a table with all the constraint. We have created a table with all the constraint and we understand check constraint, unique constraint, not null constraint and the default constraint. Okay, now let us try to understand primary key and foreign key. Okay, assignment for you is very first assignment. Try to create a tables, two tables along with the along with all the constraint, all the data types, and try to insert the data. We saw, right, like how to insert the data and all. Whether you know or not, try to do that. Please don't use any AI tools. Don't go for Google. You are in a learning stage, right? Don't use that. Okay, I'm here to help you if you stuck anywhere, or I'm here to help you if you have doubts. Okay, so I will try to insert few records into the primary key and foreign key table, and I want you to insert few records into table. And it's completely fine if you are getting an error. Okay, after after doing this assignment, share screenshots of your assignments in the group, it seems. Now I'm inserting insert into, let me insert first into the primary key, insert into this one, values, what are the values we have? So name column, right? So I'm just taking name as Lara. Don't think Lara is my favorite name. It's very simple to write, right? So that's where ID is 10 and the next one is department number, which is of 20. Let us take. Let us change ID then 2217 or else 2213. Okay, just execute this one. So one row got inserted into this parent table. Now I'm trying to insert one more record into this child table. Where is my child table? This is the one. I'm just pasting it here. Values, name is let us take ABC and ID is 20. So ID is 2214 and belongs to 30th department. Actually here you have for foreign key you will be having different columns. Okay, different columns. I'll tell you, I'll give you one example tomorrow, like how we can take. Just simply I just taken that, so that is where you will get some confusion here. Before, just understand the concept, forgot about this one. Forgot about the values that I am taking. Okay, see, the insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint. The conflict occurred in the database and so and so and so. Okay, some ID. Okay, so why it occurred? See, I am trying to insert the values into the foreign key table, which is 2214, because this is responsible for the relation, right? Now, this 2214 is not there in the primary key table, in the parent table. If your parent don't have a properties, will you inherit that properties in you? No, right? Similarly, if the parent table doesn't have those values, how can a child table can inherit? So this 2214 ID was not there in primary key table. How can we see that in a foreign key? It's impossible, right? So that is where I'm getting an error. So take 2213. Now execute it. See, you are getting an error. Sorry, you are getting an output. Can I populate child table first? What is meant by populating? Populating is a technical term that means inserting the values into the table. Inserting values into the table. Technical term is what? Populating. Okay, now you can't populate foreign key table first. First, you need to populate primary table, and then after you need to populate foreign key table. This is how it works. Okay, so I want you to create a table like this. So this is how you're going to insert the values into a table. So I'm stopping my class here, but don't leave the session. I am giving you assignment clearly. See, create a table with employee. Okay, whatever the name I'm just mentioning, that whole name you need to take. Don't go for any your wish names. Okay, why I'm asking you to do with this, please follow that. Okay, first create a database. Create a database like my underscore practice underscore db. So create a database like this. Follow the syntax, everything, follow the classes, it's up to you. Okay, but don't google it, then don't use any chat gpt or some other things. Okay, you are in a learning stage. I can easily I can easily recognize whether you done it by your own or you used any google help or social media help. Just learn. It's okay if you if you are getting many errors, it's okay to do that. Now create an employee table with columns. What are the columns? emp name, and after that emp number, and after that department number, hire date, and then salary, and then job. Enough. So create these tables. Don't take job, what you will do. Okay, these columns is enough in the employee table. And one more thing, create one more table. Create a table with department with the name called dept. No, department, like this only you need to create. So with what columns? With department number and location, and then okay, enough. Location and with these two columns is enough. Now in the employee table, now constraint. So for what column you need to take constraint, I'm telling you here. So this is a primary key. No, this is not a primary key. So this is a foreign key. This is a foreign key, and here it is a primary key. Okay, and then employee number should be unique. Okay, and employee name should not be null, and salary should be greater than 1000. Okay, and the next one you have department number, primary key, and the location, right? Enough. This is enough. No need to bother much. Okay, so here you have these constraints, and here you have all these things. So let us try. You guys create a tables like this and try to insert the data according to you. Inserting a data is up to you. Okay, I'll not I won't tell you the only these records you need to insert. Whatever the records you are taking, it's up to you. Insert your wish. Okay, so this is an assignment for you for tomorrow's session. I want everybody to come up with your assignment. Okay, so it's okay if you are having errors. Okay, I hope you understand the assignment and I hope you are clear with the class. So today only I will upload the, I'll share the recording, class recording, because you need to practice and you need to give the assignment. No, I'll share the recording today only. Before afternoon, I'll share it. Okay, so any doubts here? Anything you want to understand? Do you want me to share that assignment in the group, or it's okay, like after looking into a recording you can take that also? Anything is fine. Okay, I'll share that in a group. Just try it. Okay, so yeah, so that's all from my end for today. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. If no, you can wind up the session. Thank you guys, thanks for your time, have a great day. Okay.